Lesson 5, Part 2.1. The Celestial Journey, the 4 Pillars of Light, Sun, Moon, Mars, and Saturn through the 12 houses. Surya, the sovereign light in the 12 houses. Close your eyes, feel the inner flame, feel the radiance of awareness. Surya, the source of all illumination, reveals how the soul learns to shine through the 12 realms of life. In the first house, the house of self and identity, Surya in the ascendant means you shine from within. The ego awakens and your presence commands attention. When strong, this sun grants confidence, vitality, leadership, and clarity of purpose. When shadowed, it brings self-doubt, fatigue, and confusion of identity. The soul learns to illuminate its own path with conscious presence. In the second house of values and possessions, your will lights up resources, speech, and wealth. A strong Surya creates generosity, ethical prosperity, and eloquent expression. When shadowed, it may bring pride in possessions, insecurity, or harsh speech. Here the heart learns the sacred art of giving and receiving with awareness. In the third house of courage and expression, courage sparks action, and communication flows with fire. When strong, the sun brings decisive words and fearless exploration. When dimmed, impulsive talk and scattered focus appear. The soul learns to speak truth with steady light. In the fourth house of roots and home, your inner light nourishes family, mother, and emotional stability. A strong Surya offers stability and clear emotional foundation. When weak, it creates restlessness and longing for belonging. The soul learns to anchor its light within. In the fifth house of creativity and joy, the heart glows in romance, artistry, and play. A strong sun inspires expression and confidence in love. When shadowed, ego distorts pleasure or causes over-attachment. Here the soul dances, shining through creation. In the sixth house of service and health, energy becomes discipline, and fire becomes order. The strong sun brings mastery through service and vitality in work. A weak sun leads to fatigue and resistance to routine. The soul learns to channel power into mindful effort. In the seventh house of partnerships and reflection, your radiance meets others. Light seeks balance. A strong sun brings harmony through shared strength. When shadowed, it breeds dominance and ego clashes. The soul learns to shine without overshadowing another. In the eighth house of transformation and hidden power, your flame illuminates mystery, loss, and rebirth. A strong sun grants resilience and inner renewal. A weak one brings fear and secrecy. The soul learns to transform by walking through its own shadow. In the ninth house of faith and higher learning, will reaches toward truth and dharma. A strong sun creates inspired teaching, moral vision, and purposeful travel. When shadowed, rigidity and belief and pride appear. The soul learns to shine in alignment with truth. In the 10th house of career and mission, your light shapes destiny. The world sees what you stand for. A strong sun brings leadership, authority, and purpose. A dim sun brings ego-driven ambition and public confusion. The soul learns to radiate integrity through vocation. In the 11th house of gains and networks, energy flows to friendships and aspirations. A strong sun brings steady alliances and collective success. When dim, rivalry and scattered goals may arise. The soul learns discernment and patience in community. In the 12th house of surrender and solitude, light turns inward and the flame becomes stillness. A strong sun offers clarity in meditation and conscious withdrawal. A weak sun may create isolation and confusion of purpose. The soul learns to shine quietly, surrendering to the higher self. The sun teaches that illumination begins within, when the soul becomes its own source of light. Chandrl, the reflective mind in the 12 houses. Close your eyes, feel the silver tide of emotion rise and fall. Chandrl does not shine by herself. She reflects the sun's brilliance as feeling, intuition, and memory. She teaches how the heart learns to listen. In the first house of self and mind, emotions define your presence. You feel before you think. A strong moon gives empathy, imagination, and magnetism. A shadowed moon brings mood swings and oversensitivity. The soul learns to anchor feeling without drowning in it. In the second house of speech and values, emotions color your voice and your sense of worth. A strong moon creates nurturing speech and harmony in family. A weak one clings to approval or possessions. The heart learns stability through mindful nourishment. In the third house of courage and expression, thought and feeling dance together. A strong moon inspires creative communication and emotional courage. When dim, it causes impulsive speech or uncertainty. The soul learns to direct emotion into conscious action. In the fourth house of home and inner peace, the moon is at ease. A strong moon brings maternal love and contentment. A shadowed moon causes restlessness and attachment to comfort. The heart learns that true home lies within. In the fifth house of creativity and children, imagination blossoms. A strong moon expresses tenderness and intuitive artistry. A weak one creates emotional dependency in romance. The heart learns to give joy without needing to possess. In the sixth house of service and health, emotion meets discipline. A strong moon expresses care and intuition through work. A shadowed one leads to anxiety and fluctuating health. The soul learns emotional steadiness through mindful routine. In the seventh house of relationships and reflection, the moon mirrors through others. A strong moon brings affectionate partnerships and harmony. A weak one brings dependency and imbalance. The soul learns to love without losing itself. In the eighth house of depth and transformation, emotion dives into mystery. A strong moon brings psychic power and healing. A weak one hides fears and anxiety in intimacy. The heart learns to trust transformation as renewal. In the ninth house of faith and wisdom, feeling becomes belief and intuition becomes philosophy. A strong moon gives compassionate teachers and devotional learning. A shadowed moon brings blind faith or idealism. The soul learns to merge heart and wisdom. In the 10th house of career and public life, your emotions are seen by the world. A strong moon brings nurturing leadership and popularity. A weak one causes instability and emotional reactions in profession. The soul learns to serve with emotional intelligence. In the 11th house of gains and community, emotion flows into friendship and shared dreams. A strong moon brings supportive circles and intuitive gains. A weak one seeks approval or changes goals often. The heart learns to give and receive without attachment. In the 12th house of solitude and liberation, emotion dissolves into stillness. A strong moon brings mystical compassion and peace in retreat. A weak moon escapes or fears silence. The soul learns to surrender emotion to the ocean of consciousness. She reminds us that feeling is the moonlight of consciousness, soft yet transformative. Mangal, the commander of action in the 12 houses. Feel the warmth rise within, the will to act, the courage to move, the fire that drives existence. Mangal is not anger. He is energy-seeking direction. When guided by dharma, he becomes valor. When lost in ego, he brings destruction. In the first house of self, raw energy defines your being. A strong Mars is fearless, assertive, and magnetic. Misdirected Mars becomes impulsive or quarrelsome. The soul learns to master fire rather than be consumed by it. In the second house of wealth and speech, action channels into resources and family. A strong Mars builds, earns, and strategizes. Misdirected Mars speaks sharply or spends rashly. The lesson is to speak with strength, not harm. In the third house of courage and expression, Mars finds his natural field. A strong Mars shows unmatched bravery and focus. When misdirected, rivalry and argument dominate. The soul learns that true courage matures through restraint. In the fourth house of home and heart, fire burns within emotion. A strong Mars protects family and secures property. A weak Mars ignites domestic conflict or restlessness. The soul learns to protect, not to dominate. In the fifth house of creativity and love, passion lights the flame of joy. A strong Mars inspires learning and bold romance. A misdirected Mars brings ego and impatience. The heart learns that true passion uplifts. It never conquers. In the sixth house of service and challenge, Mars enters his battlefield. A strong Mars achieves victory through discipline and endurance. A weak Mars overworks or argues. The teaching is that courage is sacred when it serves purpose. In the seventh house of partnership and balance, fire meets reflection. A strong Mars brings passionate collaboration. A misdirected Mars causes dominance or discord. The soul learns to meet fire with understanding. In the eighth house of transformation, energy dives deep. A strong Mars empowers regeneration and crisis mastery. A misdirected Mars hides anger or faces sudden tension. The soul learns to harness fire as alchemy, not destruction. In the ninth house of dharma and fortune, courage turns toward wisdom. A strong Mars channels devotion into righteous purpose. A weak one rebels against truth. The soul learns to align will with wisdom. In the 10th house of karma and profession, Mars takes command of destiny. A strong Mars leads through decisive action. A weak one becomes impatient or defiant. The soul learns to lead through service, not pride. In the 11th house of gains and networks, ambition fuels expansion. A strong Mars forges alliances and success. A misdirected Mars acts rashly or disrupts friendships. The lesson is to act for the collective good. In the 12th house of solitude and liberation, fire retreats inward. A strong Mars becomes a spiritual warrior. A misdirected Mars wastes energy in anger or inner conflict. The soul learns to turn energy into awareness. Mangal teaches that courage becomes sacred when the fire serves consciousness. Shani, the Lord of Karma in the 12 houses. Feel the weight of time settle softly on your shoulders. Shani is not punishment. He is precision. He delays not to deny, but to refine. Through him, patience becomes power. In the first house of self, life begins with responsibility. A strong Saturn brings discipline and integrity. A tested Saturn brings fear and hesitation. The soul learns to build strength through patience. In the second house of wealth and family, structure forms around speech and sustenance. A strong Saturn brings slow but lasting prosperity. A tested Saturn brings scarcity or delayed support. The soul learns that endurance is wealth. In the third house of courage and communication, Saturn grants realism. A strong Saturn makes communication deliberate and reliable. A tested Saturn hesitates or isolates. The lesson is to act not fast, but right. In the fourth house of home and foundation, the heart bears responsibility. A strong Saturn builds stability through effort. A tested Saturn feels coldness or emotional distance. The soul learns that security is built within. In the fifth house of creativity and dharma, patience shapes expression. A strong Saturn gives loyal affection and disciplined creativity. A tested Saturn brings creative delay. The teaching is that endurance refines genius. In the sixth house of duty and challenge, the servant becomes the master through effort. A strong Saturn triumphs through persistence. A tested Saturn faces fatigue and monotony. The soul learns that persistence is victory. In the seventh house of partnership and balance, love matures into responsibility. A strong Saturn brings loyalty and structure. A tested Saturn delays or challenges relationships. The soul learns that true partnership is sustained, not possessed. In the eighth house of transformation and secrets, karma reveals its depth. A strong Saturn grants resilience and occult mastery. A tested Saturn faces prolonged trials and hidden fears. The soul learns to endure through unseen storms. In the ninth house of dharma and fortune, faith is tested by time. A strong Saturn builds structured wisdom and humility. A tested Saturn struggles with belief or rigidity. The soul learns that time itself is the highest teacher. In the 10th house of karma and profession, destiny finds its architect. A strong Saturn gives lasting achievement through diligence. A tested Saturn carries heavy duties early in life. The soul learns that greatness grows in silence. In the 11th house of gains and networks, rewards come slowly but surely. A strong Saturn builds steady alliances and enduring prosperity. A tested Saturn brings narrow networks or late success. The lesson is that lasting gains come through integrity. In the 12th house of liberation and solitude, Saturn offers the final lesson. A strong Saturn grants detachment, discipline, and depth in meditation. A tested Saturn brings isolation and karmic release. The soul learns that freedom arises from acceptance. Shani teaches that patience is the highest form of strength and time the doorway to freedom. Reflection. And so, as the fire of the sun blazes, the moon reflects, Mars acts, and Saturn refines. The soul learns how to shine, to feel, to strive, and to endure. These four lights, the king, the queen, the warrior, and the sage of time, are the pillars of experience, the sculptors of destiny, the silent architects of human evolution. Each house they touch becomes a temple of growth, a mirror showing us not what we are, but what we are becoming. Yet the heavens do not end here. Beyond the visible light waits the shadow. Rahu, the dragon's head, weaving illusion and ambition. And opposite him, Ketu, the saint of detachment, whispering release. Then Venus, the master of beauty, who teaches love and refinement. Jupiter, the guru of wisdom and expansion. And Mercury, the prince of intellect and speech, the messenger who bridges all worlds. Their stories await you in the next part of this journey. So stay with me, for in part 2 of the celestial journey, we will step beyond light and shadow to explore the mysteries of Rahu, Ketu, Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury. 5 teachers who complete the cosmic circle of destiny. Until then, look to the sky dash dash. And remember, the stars are not outside you. They are the map of your own becoming. If this journey touched your spirit, like, subscribe, and share it with fellow seekers, so that more hearts may awaken to the light within.